go.
You are tuned into the Multiverse Theory Podcast. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now on Spotify. I am your host, the Cape Crusader, Carmine. I am joined by my esteemed colleague. First up, we got the Scarlet Speedster, Tommy. Say what up to the people.
What's up, everybody? This is the Scarlet Speedster, Tommy. Let's go ahead and get into this. We back at it. We on Spotify. Preston, what's up?
We got the web singer himself, Mr. Preston Brown. Say what up.
What's up, everybody? Hey, just let y'all know these nicknames are new, so I'm shocked by. We're all shocked by what our nicknames is, but I'm cool with it. I like Spider-Man. What's up, y'all?
Yeah. And I do want to say this. I'm probably gonna say this on most of our podcasts, most of our multiverse podcasts, because it needs to be said. Another reason why I gave those nicknames, because everybody needs to know. Tommy is neutral. So when he's on here, just know that he's neutral. I am a DC guy. Preston is a Marvel guy. But we like both. Mm-hmm. And we are unbiased in our critiques to both. And it's okay, guys.
Yeah, I'm a bi-curious.
It's okay. Fan. We prefer one over the other.
Yeah.
However, we like and enjoy both.
Yeah, I like
just
DC.
saying.
Yeah. I'm on the download.
There's nothing wrong with liking characters from both sides.
Absolutely. Anyway, guys, this is our dark. I'm gonna say it. They didn't say it. That it wasn't a title movie. But I'm gonna say it because it should have been a title. This is our X-Men Dark Phoenix review of the film brought to us from Simon Kinberg and the whole cast of the X-Men. You guys already know. Tommy, what did you like about the movie?
To me, flat out, I love the action scenes of it, like especially the fight scenes where Magneto finally got into the fray, because Magneto is one of my favorite villains in the X-Men franchise. Which I think he's most people's favorite villain from the X-Men franchise, but that's just me speaking. Like, Magneto's always been a great character to me, especially just the way that they bring his powers to life, you know, with the whole Master of Magnetism thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love how, at one point, and spoiler alert, yeah, there's going to be spoilers. There was this one point when Beast went to Magneto for help to stop Jean, and he says, "You know I'm going to kill her, right?" He's like, "I never said I was going to stop you."
Yeah. Magneto's pretty dope, man. Is there anything else that you liked about the film?
To me, the presentation was pretty good because I feel like everybody was well represented, especially Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler went ham when they were in that fucking that truck scene when they were fighting. Yeah, that was lit. I love seeing Nightcrawler go ham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Like pretty much like all my positives have to do with like the action scenes, and then also like there was the underlying theme that people started to see what Professor X couldn't see in himself, that, you know, he was really doing all this shit of helping the government, but it was all for vain glory. It wasn't really for the good of mutants. It's just because it made him feel good.
Yeah, I got you. I'm sorry to tell you, that's part of one of my negatives. Anyway, guys, Tommy's on this podcast for this episode, for this movie, because that's as far as the positive that it's gonna get. I'm just letting you know right now, where like I'm just kidding. Now, what I liked about the movie, this is what I really liked about the movie, and Tommy touched on the action scenes. To me, these action scenes in this movie with them fighting together, and also when Magneto's crew and the X-Men were fighting apart, to me those were the best X-Men action scenes since X2. To me,
facts.
Like I think those were I think those were choreographed the best. I think they used their powers the best since X2. And I thought it was hella dope. And I didn't think, like, it didn't top it for me, but I didn't think they would get close to the Nightcrawler scene in the beginning of X2 with Nightcrawler, with the new Nightcrawler. But, man, that on the train, when he got pissed,
oh my God.
Yo, son. That was hella
Bro.
dope.
He
Hella
was
dope.
stabbing motherfuckers with the tip of his tail, snapping motherfuckers' necks with his tail. That shit was lit.
Yeah, definitely. That was hella dope. Um, and but yeah, Preston, what are some things that you like about the film?
All right, so the things that I liked about this film, I like the fact that
Not many.
the sky was blue. That was a good. That was a very accurate depiction of real life. I love how accurate that part was.
Here we
For
go.
the record,
And
guys, Preston's gonna be the most negative.
I'm not gonna be the most negative.
Here we
It's
go.
not a terrible film. It's just okay. Positives.
Here we go.
Who's up? All right, so you know, man, I'm trying.
Oh shit.
I'm trying so hard. Okay, uh, Sophie Turner wasn't that bad in this movie, so I guess that would be a
Bro,
positive.
Sophie Turner was good.
Uh,
Simon Kinberg's writing was shit. That is the difference in this movie.
yes.
Sophie Turner, the dude that plays Cyclops,
Mhm.
Professor X,
Mhm.
everybody except Jennifer Lawrence, she phones in every movie since fucking First Class. I don't even want to. I'm not even. I don't even include her. Everybody that was an X-Men in this movie, they tried their ass off to me, but it couldn't be saved because of the writing. The writing was shit. The dialogue, oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't
That's-
blame those. I don't blame that on the actors. They did the best that they could, bro. Like honestly,
like there's only so much that the best actors in Hollywood can do. If the script is shit, the script is shit. You know, you got to remember, just like in, let's say, just like the phrase, it takes two to tango. You got to have a halfway decent script to great script and great actors in order to pull off a great movie. If even one side of that equation is unbalanced, then that just kills the whole movie.
and also I also want to say I don't know if this was because of the Disney deal, and Disney saw this movie in advance, or it was either Simon Kinberg or their studio. But Jessica Chastain's character was supposed to be a Skrull. The end scene was supposed to be in space. The third act was all supposed to be in space. And the reason why it wasn't in space, and the reason why we didn't get Skrulls, was because of Captain Marvel. Which to me, I'm like, this has to be a Disney deal move. Because how did they know what was in Captain Marvel when X-Men was already done shooting?
Yeah, I was wondering like what alien race that was.
I don't know if it's because of the Captain Marvel trailer, but I could have sworn that the X-Men trailers came out before the Captain Marvel trailers came out. The first Dark Phoenix trailer. I don't know if you remember, Preston.
Yeah, I do remember. I think it did. I think
it came out before the first Captain Marvel trailer. So I want to know, when did
it was like a teaser.
When did they do the reshoots? That's what I want to know. When did they? Because they had the reshoots to completely change the third act.
Yeah, and
because I heard
too similar to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because I heard the way Jean was lighting up like the Phoenix, it looked like the way Captain Marvel was lining up. But if that was me, I don't give a fuck.
Why would that matter?
This movie was in production and ready to come out before Captain Marvel. This movie was supposed to come out in November.
I don't even know why they even worried about Captain Marvel.
And then it was supposed to come out in February. You know what? They should have never They should have never said we're gonna do reshoots because they had to do reshoots. They had to change the release date to June. You should have kept it at February. Your movie would have came out before Captain Marvel, and then you could have had people saying Captain Marvel was copying off of you. Or if you could have kept your original release date was in the beginning. I think it's the beginning or the middle of November. That was the first release date, and you had that movie come out on that release date. People are gonna say Captain Marvel copied off of y'all, not the other way around.
But who would really care about that? Because these are both Marvel.
That's what I'm saying. Me personally, I wouldn't have batted an eye. I would have been like, yo,
me neither. No, I agree with y'all 100%. But all the reports, those were the reasons that I heard.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, how many times in the comics have we not seen like the Avengers fight the same fucking aliens as the X-Men?
But the ending was
when this movie got first greenlit, and they first casted Jessica Chastain's character, the rumors from the start was she was gonna be a squirrel. And I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, it's kind of confusing to me because the Fox and Marvel deal didn't happen yet, and both movies were already in production. And I'm like, so how is Marvel using squirrels when Fox has the rights to squirrels? But I heard that Fox had the rights to some to the squirrels, but Marvel still had the rights to some squirrels, whatever the fuck they called. Squirrels. Yeah, they have the right to some of them. So it's kind of confusing, but at the same time, who gives a shit? Because the alternative, because you know what, Press, you got any more positives? I'm ready to get into negatives.
I tried, man. I'm all out of positives. I gave them all.
So because let's
you
be
gave
honest,
it the old college try.
My biggest negative in this movie was you completely wasted Jessica Chastain. She was pointless.
She didn't have to be in the movie at all.
She was utterly pointless in this film.
But you know what? If they would have used the name Skrull, then that comparison with Captain Marvel, that would have made sense. Because people would have been like, Marvel did Skrulls better.
Bro, this is my thing. It's a Dark Phoenix storyline. You cast Jessica Chastain, she's supposed to be Lalandra.
I think her name was Goop in this movie or something like that.
Not a fucking squirrel. This is a Dark Phoenix story. Okay, the biggest problem with this film is the fact that they try to do a Dark Phoenix storyline in one movie. It can't. First of all, you have to get to Phoenix before you get to Dark Phoenix.
Right. and for those who are DC fans, this is almost as if they tried to cram the Flashpoint storyline in one movie.
Exactly. And you remember when I heard that shit, I'm like, yo, my God, I hope they don't do that shit.
You cannot
do that. This is not an animated film. This is not where you can do it animated. Flashpoint Paradox did it animated, and it was fine as dope. But we saw the Flash, even though this was a different iteration, we still saw animated the Flash before that in the Justice League series and all that, in the Justice League movies and shit.
Yeah.
So we still saw him before that. So the Flashpoint Paradox movie was set in the New 52 world. So before that movie came out, there were movies that came out, and there was stories that came out in New 52.
Yeah, there was some sort of build up.
Like, I don't understand. You could have did any other movie.
Yeah.
For the last one, not this one.
And even then, like with the animated movies, they get a lot more forgiveness of just throwing a storyline at you, even if there isn't any build up. With movies, especially with a franchise that already started,
they can do more. They can do
more
to make it more sense.
Right, absolutely. So when these live action movies, when you got a franchise that's already been going on and you throw a whole new storyline, you can't just transition over to something that's like from the Apocalypse story over to the Dark Phoenix story. It's
like
can't do that.
Like, mind you, so again, I'm the casual comic hero fan here. So, but let me tell you, when I was watching this movie, like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was, but at the same time, I couldn't help but feel like it was being hella rushed. Like, it was just too obvious that they were rushing.
Yes, because I didn't give a shit about Jean Grey and Scott Summers' chemistry together. Yeah. I didn't give one iota. I didn't give a fuck. And
what chemistry?
And it's sad. And it's sad. No, the thing is, it's sad because those two can have amazing chemistry, but we didn't get time for that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They tried to, because in the last movie, Apocalypse, they weren't together.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't together at all. Look, listen, guys, all this that I'm saying, I still think this is a better film than that shitbox Apocalypse. I'm sorry, but
they should have Bryan Singer do this one.
I can't stand Apocalypse. Like, I can't. No, you know what they should have did? They should have had fucking Matthew Vaughn continue what the fuck he wanted to continue doing. That's what they should have done.
They shouldn't have did the Dark Phoenix story, period. Like, that's
they shouldn't have did that shit, period. There's so many other X-Men storylines you could have done.
Because
you could have done an actual, for the last movie, you could have done a real Sentinel storyline. Like, real Sentinel storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Because that's a beginning type storyline in X-Men.
Yeah,
the Sentinel.
Yeah. And with this is the biggest story arc in X-Men comic book history. Is the Dark Phoenix storyline.
It's the coup de grace.
Everybody knows Phoenix.
Right. So when you do something like
this is the best X-Men story. the
ever.
best.
Right, and when you do this,
Period.
it's a big risk. So if you screw up, it's gonna show, and it takes too much it takes too much like detail and stuff to put into this type of storyline. You can't rush it and put it in one movie. You can't rely on the actors to make the script a lot better than what it is. You can't do that with this type of film. And yes, Apocalypse was terrible as well. I can't say that it was a good movie at all. But even with that movie, it looks like these two last movies they did, they were trying to do fan service, and it blew up in their face.
Yeah, because they tried
Facts.
to take the two biggest X-Men storylines. You can't do that.
Yeah,
like
you can't do that.
this is what you this is the thing. This is the thing that they didn't understand. And by the way, Apocalypse is Bryan Singer, so anyway. So this is the thing they didn't understand. If you wanted to do an Apocalypse storyline, that's a trilogy.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix is another trilogy,
Facts.
not one movie.
Bro.
It made no sense.
Yeah,
No.
like, case in
But it
point,
actually made sense. But if X3 wasn't such a shitbox and they didn't do it wrong, it made sense for X3 to be a Phoenix storyline. Because we had two other movies with this cast. We had two other movies to build the chemistry for us to have an attachment to these people.
for us to give a rat's ass.
So X3 for them. Now X3 could not do Dark Phoenix. It could have that's saved for another movie. But X3 could have been, because the way X2 ended, X3 could have been the birth of the Phoenix storyline.
Yeah.
And then a movie or two after, then you go to Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, because that's when you saw the Phoenix underwater when they thought
Exactly,
she
and that's what I thought we were getting. Instead, we get the fucking. Oh my god, I'm not even going to that. But
God. X3
bro,
was
do
terrible.
you understand
Bro.
how ridiculously hype I was when they panned to that lake and we saw the fiery Phoenix in that water?
Yeah.
Bro, that theater went insane.
Yeah. It was like, whoa, we finally about to get it.
Insane, bro. But it was earned. But think about it. It was earned. That reaction was earned. This shit wasn't earned at all.
Nah.
The last two movies wasn't earned for shit. This
They
whole
just
thing,
half-assed it through two movies.
bro. This whole thing to me should have ended at Logan. That should have been the end of X-Men.
Especially with the irony that
Then
they
you
did
reboot.
all that shit in Days of Future Past to prevent people from dying, and they still fucking died. Yeah, it should have ended there.
And the biggest detriment that I have is what really, really sucks. Sophie Turner, due to play Cyclops, due to play Nightcrawler. Peters a Quicksilver. These people could have been amazing X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
From a beginning arc to an end, this cast could have been an amazing cast. But they got utterly wasted. Just like the Fantastic Four cast, not the first two movies. I'm talking about the Josh Trank one. That was an amazing cast, bro.
That was the one with Michael B. Jordan as Human
Yes,
Torch, right?
amazing cast, bro. Wasted.
That's one of my problems too, because I didn't like the fact that Quicksilver really wasn't in the movie mostly at all, and they
didn't do shit.
And they were talking
Yeah,
about
they
him trying to figure
barely
out.
showed him.
They were trying to figure out who his dad was. Well, I mean, he pretty much knew it, and they didn't even tie up that storyline that they
That
had
was pointless.
in Days of Future Past. Like they could have
That
did
was
something with
pointless.
that, and they did nothing with it. And what I told you guys before about the Dark Phoenix, like she had Phoenix already in Apocalypse, and now and this one it's like it never even happened. It was just like
The biggest mistake was them not letting Matthew Vaughn continue to do what he was doing. Because the next movie after First Class was not going to be Days of Future Past if they let Matthew Vaughn stay on. Matthew Vaughn was going to do an introduction to a younger Wolverine in the next movie after First Class. Days of Future Past was going to happen later, but Matthew Vaughn had a plan. Instead, they wanted to bring back fucking Bryan Singer. Like, Bryan Singer should have been done with that shit. Like,
Days of Future Past was a great
love,
movie though.
No, but I love Days of Future Past. But you hampered the newer cast. You hampered, like, I love Days of Future Past, but you, first of all, the continuity in the X-Men franchise is shit anyways. You fucked up the continuity even more in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, they screwed the timeline all the way up.
Like, they completely fucked it up even more. So it didn't make any. That's what I'm saying. It didn't make any fucking sense,
Made
bro.
it worse, yeah. But Like,
It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. Days of Future Past is like top 3 X-Men movies, top 2 easily. Like,
that's for sure.
it's amazing. But at the same time, it fucked up continuity. We should have had 3 solid movies with James McAvoy, Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, that cast of X people. Should have had 3 solid movies before we got to this young cast.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
Yeah, and those are 2 great actors, McAvoy and Fassbender. Fassbender, one of my favorite actors. So is McAvoy. Those are some phenomenal actors.
You introduce a Wolverine in the second one. So when you get to the young cast, Wolverine isn't older. He's older like he's supposed to be, and he's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, and also I heard Matthew Vaughn, his Wolverine of choice was guess. Nobody can guess. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That would have been interesting.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But it makes me wonder if people were ready to let go of Hugh Jackman, though. Because I wonder if they did go with that, how the trajectory of Logan would have turned out. You know,
we probably wouldn't have. You're right. We probably wouldn't have got a Logan.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I love Logan. It's like number 1 for me. Like,
right.
As far as any of those movies, like, it's number 1. But at the same time, it's like, that's true too. Okay, but you sacrificed your franchise for that one movie.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, me personally, like I told you guys in the chat, I went into this movie both with reservations, but trying to have an open mind because, first of all, what's it called? Apocalypse left a sour taste in my mouth, bad one. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this, but it looks like the trailers looked okay enough to where I wanted to watch it. Plus, it was T-Mobile Tuesday, $4. You can't beat that.
Nope.
So, also, I went to see it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm not gonna like bash it halfway through the movie. I'm gonna give it a shot. And plus, like, we're all 90s kids here. We all remember when the X-Men animated series did the Pheonix arc. How amazing that was. The animated
but that was a lot of episodes, that arc.
Yeah, that shit spanned like what, 30 plus episodes between the inception to the end of the story.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of episodes, bro.
They spanned that shit out big time. So, but then like when I saw that they just completely, like, they didn't even do a segment of this movie where they just referred to her as Pheonix. Like, they just skipped straight to Dark Phoenix. I was like, yeah, this is hella rushed. Like, you should have done some sort of prequel to this.
It's not even in that, and I mean, with this cast of actors, it shouldn't have turned out this way. Because I think this is the best cast of actors they have for an X-Men film. And I know a lot of people would say the original X-Men. I think the writing in that film was a lot better than the actors that were involved.
Everybody's gonna call blasphemy, but sorry, her name is losing me, but I'm sorry. The chick that plays Storm is a better Storm than Halle Berry. Sorry.
Thank you. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't really. She in the first X-Men film, even though I love that movie and I watched them again recently, she did a imitation of the animated film, which is appreciated with her sound effects and even her. She was just Halle Berry. She wasn't really Storm.
Yes, exactly.
She was just Halle Berry, and that had nothing to do with it. And I agree with you. And like I said, these last
dude was a better Cyclops. Like James Marsden, like that's his name, right? Yeah, that's my dude and everything, but. Sorry, like
he made Cyclops look so weak, bro.
I don't blame him. I blame Bryan Singer for that direction that he went into. But Cyclops was a bitch. So sorry, and Cyclops not supposed to be a bitch. He's a leader. He's a leader of the X-Men. Wolverine is not the fucking leader.
Yeah.
And that was always my problem with the X-Men.
He may be the most popular character, but he's not the leader.
I love those movies, and Hugh Jackman is an awesome Wolverine. I love him. He's too tall, but he's an awesome Wolverine. However, Wolverine is not the leader. Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men, and that was always my biggest issue in those films.
Yo, it's funny. I thought I was the only one that noticed that.
And the dude, is it Ty Sheridan? Yeah, Ty Sheridan. He acted like a leader in this movie. He acted like Cyclops.
Mhm.
He was a younger version, but he acted like Cyclops. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was so much potential in these casts.
It's like
So
little
much
subtleties
potential,
like
bro.
that. Little subtleties like that make all the difference. Because even though Wolverine is possibly hands down the most popular X-Men ever, he should not be regarded as the leader because he's not.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what could have really saved this movie. It was just so much going on here. You look at the like just the list of the actors that's involved. There's no reason why it shouldn't even be remotely bad. Because if you look
Right.
back at this later and you look at the films that these people are involved in their solo careers outside of the X-Men movies, there's no
Mhm.
reason why it should turn out this way. And it has so many questionable things. Like you guys like the action scene. For me, I thought they were okay. And even the moment where Mystique died, I didn't really care. And I was
I
like,
didn't really. Yeah. I
I
didn't
was, I
care.
wasn't
I'm
even
like,
gonna
why
bring
would
that
you
up,
walk
bro.
up to her? You see the girl going crazy right now. Why are you walking? Have you not watched the movie Carrie? Have you not? Like, what are you doing? Stay away from her.
Yeah. Like
It's not even that. They gave it away in the trailer anyway.
Well, yeah, that too. But it's like you asked for that, and then
I
when
feel bad for my dude too that played Beast. Yo, that dude is a really good Beast.
he's a good beast.
Mhm.
I
I like him as Beast.
yeah, I like him a lot. You like him better than Kelsey Grammer?
Hell
No,
no.
but
I didn't say
definitely.
that.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Kelsey Grammer was actually he actually played Beast from the animated series.
Yeah, it was good. That's great. That's the real Hank McCoy right there.
Yeah, he actually.
Yeah.
But I thought he was good though. I thought dude was good.
No,
as
no, he
Beast.
was
Yeah,
good.
he did a good job.
Yeah.
I liked him.
He was
Because
good.
he emoted a lot of emotion being blue.
Yeah, like there was
Like
like
being
bits
blue
and
and
pieces
furry,
of
like
this
you can
movie.
see it, bro.
Like
But
there
it
was
just
like bits and
but it was
pieces of this
empty.
movie that worked, but then overall it was missing a lot.
But I wish they would have did a little bit more building on his and Mystique's relationship. It would
Yeah,
have
because it
made
was
him
like kind of
going.
just thrust in there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they showed that he had like a crush on her in the previous X-Men movies, and he was like, because we're blue, so we understand each other. But if they would have did a little bit more in-depth storytelling with their relationship, the point of him wanting to kill Jean Grey based upon Mystique dying, it would have been a lot more impactful. But because they didn't go that way, it was kind of like, all right, this dude had a crush on this girl,
Also,
he's just
it
going
also
crazy.
pissed me. This would also piss me off about this whole like Simon Kinberg decided whatever happened in Apocalypse didn't happen. Fuck it. In Apocalypse, she already had the Phoenix in her.
She had it already, and then she
So
went in
why they
space and
would
got it.
even though he kind of did the origin right,
He did, but the
but
continuity.
the continuity. That's what I'm saying. Like come on, bro. And also, by the way, Tommy, that whole thing with blaming Professor X, this and that, like I hated that shit. I'm like, why are we doing this? That's the shit they did in X3. Why are we doing this again?
Yeah, it almost the storyline was almost, I want to say, a carbon copy,
hated
but
that
it was
shit,
there.
bro.
Oh, you know what part I
hated that
didn't?
shit.
You know what part I didn't understand is that I understood it, but I know they were trying to avoid copying Captain Marvel's ending or whatever with her glowing. But the end of this movie, when I saw her, when she told you, she was like, "You want this power? Take it all." That reminded me of the end of the first Hulk movie when he gave his power to his dad. Like that was the exact same scene. He gave his dad all the power out of him or whatever, and I was
Right.
like, that
I mean,
part really.
I don't think they were thinking about the Hulk though.
No,
That
I don't
movie
think they
was
were
like
thinking about it, but
that's like
Bro.
2002,
no, of course, I don't
2003.
think they were
Like,
thinking it, but they could have gotten, they could have been a little bit more creative with that part. Like,
Let me tell
yeah.
you, like as far as the whole X3 thing, that the whole blaming Professor X shit happened there. First of all, X3 was so trash that and so long ago I forgot the fucking plot other than it was Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. Anyway, we spent too long in this movie.
yeah.
Yeah, let's get to the grades.
What you guys score out of 10? It's a movie review, bro. We don't do grades. What's your guys score out of 10?
Um, okay, so me, I'm going to be fair and I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Here we go. Preston?
I'm gonna give it a 6. Can't give it more. That's as nice as I'm gonna be with this movie. I'm not even gonna lie.
Cool. That's where I
Okay,
was
so
landing.
we're
A
kind of on
six.
par.
A 6 was where I was landing. Like I said when I came up when we were talking about it on the chat, it was okay.
Bruh,
It was
the
okay.
way Preston was talking about it
To
in
me,
the
it was
chat, I
okay.
thought he was gonna give it like a 4.
No, it wasn't terrible. It was just disappointing, man.
The thing is, that's what I'm saying. I was about to say that. He was just hella disappointed.
Yeah, with these cast
That's
of
what it
actors,
was.
bro. My guy,
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender and McAvoy, those are two of my favorite actors right now. Sophie Turner, she's been in Game of Thrones, and say whatever people want to say about how that turned out. You can't deny that she's a great actress. And even Jennifer Lawrence, well, she phoned it in, and we get that. But if you look at the cast on the list, there is no reason why this shouldn't have worked out, and the actors ruined it for them. I mean, not the actors, but the writers. Like, what kind of writing is that? I don't know. I don't know. I can see why they didn't care. I can see it. You read, like,
Yeah, they probably saw the script like
Jennifer Lawrence is like, all right, just pay me my $10 million so I can get up out of here.
Man, she got up out of there quick too.
And that pay, oh my god.
Okay. We're not going. Anyway, guys, it's gonna do it for our Dark Pheonix review. I am Carmine. That's Preston and Tom, and this has been our Dark Pheonix review, Multiverse Theory podcast. We are back. We are on Spotify, guys. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.